Everyone had my Abhyandran. Good morning, Bhante.
What a job.
Morning, Bhante.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bhante.
Everyone, Saranai, Druvani.
Make out Chitrada.
Druvani.
Everyone.
Judy. Chitra. Visaka. Alright. Now, let us begin with our.
Do you want to start now or wait until 10?
We have
It's 9:50.
50 minutes.
Morning, Brian.
Morning,
Morning.
Yuan. Today, Yuan is helping me. Go to share screen.
Mm-hmm.
Then
You have to open it back up. Click on it.
this one.
Yeah. Here you go. So now close this, hit the red circle, and do it again.
This mouse is behaving in a very strange way when it goes out of the.
Yeah.
Does it?
Okay, so now try again. Click the green circle. There you go.
Okay. We have plenty of time. I think we started too early. Anyway, after we take this bench if you want.
Ah, thanks.
You can write your questions on the chat box or lift your finger or ask questions later on when we finish Metta recital and meditation. Today I just tried to do it by myself, but I cannot, so I have to get the help of Yuan. Brian is not available today, so Yuan is another temporary resident.
So you need to say everything again if you want.
Even if I say anything?
Now they can hear you. Now you can talk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can start now?
Yeah, now you're off mute if you want to say that again, because previously you were muted.
Yeah. Oh,
So now you're off mute.
now what I wanted to say is that we have 5 minutes. We want to wait until till 10 o'clock because people who come exactly at 10 o'clock would be disappointed if we started earlier. So I want to wait these 5 minutes, and that is why I started telling you the way we started today. With the help of a new gentleman who is our temporary resident at Bhavana. His name is Yuan. So he also is a computer expert. So he was coaching me, guiding me. And as he is much faster than I thought, he made it possible for me to start earlier. That is why I finished, because I thought I might take much longer time to learn. Yes, I take much longer time, but he coached me in a way to skip some steps and quickly started. So I said earlier, if you have any question, either you lift your finger and speak clearly and loudly, or write in the chat box, or send an email. I think all this would be possible, and he is asking you to write questions.
You have one now. Do you want to take it or wait for later?
Yeah, we have to wait until we...
Okay.
You keep writing your questions, and as soon as we finish our meditation and then I would be ready to answer your questions. Okay. Let us start.
Are you trying to cancel? Okay. I can share the slide if you want.
Slide, yes.
I'll just share it.
Where are the slides?
It should be coming up. Try again. Yeah, so that one. Okay.
Okay. Let us begin. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere. Neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings One should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment. Whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake, one should develop this mindfulness. This is called divine leaderling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desires for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. Okay, with this metta thought, let us
Stop share.
begin our
Black green button. Stop share.
meditation.
Stop share. That one.
With this metta thought in mind, as usual, start paying total mindful attention to the breath. As we pay attention to breath, we notice the breath touching our nostrils and reaching our lungs, expanding lungs, expanding lower abdomen, and then as we breathe out, the lower abdomen contracts, chest area contracts, the breath leaves our nostrils. And these are the steps that take place while we are breathing in and out. This happens naturally, without words, concepts, ideas, theories, and so on. Everyone that breathes in and out can notice that if that person pays mindful, undivided attention without greed, hatred, or delusion, attention without any conceptualizing, without forcing. It just happens. So we make the mind very clear, pure, and pay attention. And then naturally our breath becomes calm, relaxed, and peaceful. The body and the mind also become calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Only if you pay pure, simple, what we call bare attention to this simple, pure, clean breath, that we notice everything is relaxing. In the relaxed state of mind, greed does not take root. Even if greed comes, it simply drifts away, disappears, because in the relaxed state of mind, greed cannot arise, which can create agitation, excitement, and so on. When that is gone, the mind, body, breath become even clearer, more relaxed, more peaceful. In the state rigidity, uptightness, anger, resentment also fades away. We experience the Metta feeling. As we experience Metta feeling, the body, mind, breath becomes even more clear, and resentment fades away. When the resentment fades away, everything is calm, relaxed and peaceful. We may feel sleepy. Sleepiness is very sweet. It is it is sort of a kind of temptation. We like to have it, but we all know at the same time the sleepiness, drowsiness, sluggishness retard our progress. Even if we sleep, we won't get any insight from sleep. Then we arouse our spiritual urgency that we have very short, precious moments in life. Now we have that moment, and we don't want to waste it by sleeping. We can sleep any other times, but this moment we must remain alert, awake and mindful. Then sleepiness fades away. Then the opposite of it can arise, that is restlessness and worry. That also make our practice difficult. We become restless because we have done something incomplete, or we have done something wrong, or our mind can go to the future. In reality, mind doesn't go anywhere. What happens is we have stored all kind of information in our memory, in our mind, in our brain, and these memorized things can be stirred up and become active. So we get carried away with them. That we call mind wandering. Therefore we have to understand this nature. So let those things be suspended for a while and keep the mind focused on the present moment. Present moment is occupied with our breath, rising, falling, rising, falling. When we focus mind on that real present happening, restlessness and worry also stops, fades away. Then we know sometimes in spite of all this, we may still have doubt about the Buddha, the system, the community that followed this, and doubt about our own attainment. By seeing that we have been overcome, greed, resentment, sleepiness and drowsiness and restlessness and worry, we can see that we have made a progress. And therefore we can have confidence in ourselves. When we have confidence in ourselves, we have confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. because what they experienced, we too can experience. If what they experience we cannot experience, then we don't have faith or confidence in them or the system or in us. Now, this is very, very scientific approach. What you get, I also can get. And with this very realistic approach, our doubt fades away. When all these hindrances having overcome, the body, mind, breath becomes even more relaxed, calm and peaceful. And then mind gains concentration. When mind is concentrated, that concentrated mind can see things as they really are. What are the things and what is the reality? Things are this body, feelings, perceptions, thought and consciousness. The reality in them is that they all are rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling, rising, falling, appearing and disappearing. It means that they all are impermanent. With concentrated mind, we can see impermanence in action in all these things very clearly. And let us try to see this reality in our own practice. I will stop here and we all continue this practice till I ring the bell. imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo tu yava nibbana pattiya dukkha pattaca nidukkha bhaya pattaca nibbaya soka pattaca nisoka hontu sabbe pipanino bhavaggupadaya aviciyetato ettantere sattakayupapanna rupi arupi ca asanya sanyino dukkha pamunchantu pusantu nibbuting. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the foolish, may I join always with the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. May the suffering be free from suffering, may the fear-struck be free from fear, may the grieving be free from grief, so too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. There is one question I see in the chat box. Let me start with that question. Others can type their question on the chat box. First question is about observing the sixth precept. Somebody who observed the monastic precepts, the sixth precept is not abstaining from eating from at night, abstaining from eating at night. If it's if the person is a lay person observing lifetime precept, or lifetime precept does not require lifetime precept, six lifetime precept is not about abstaining from eating at night. They can eat at night. However, this person who asked the question wants to train that person, himself or herself, to reduce and cut and abstain from eating at night. The person also mentioned if somebody is working hard, and how can that person abstain from eating at night? I suggest if they can spend little time in the morning to eat good breakfast, substantial breakfast, and medium-sized lunch. In the evening, they can have a very light something, soup or some crackers and tea or coffee or whatever. That way the person can begin. I know some people who don't observe any of these precepts don't eat at night at all on their own. So when you train your mind, the body will adjust to various requirements. It is the mind that we train, we want to train, when we train the mind, then the very natural urge to eat at night also can be trained not to have that urge. This is a matter of training. Otherwise, there is no magic. That is the answer to the first question. Could you read the second question a little loud? I cannot see it well.
Yep. So we have a second question. It says, Dear Bhante, I've been doing Anapanasati meditation since 3 months. The practice is going well, but from 1 week ago, there has been pain inside my right ear, head, and neck while doing this meditation. How can I resolve this issue?
Now, having pain in your eye and the neck,
Inside right ear, head, and neck.
right ear and the neck,
And head, yeah.
you have pain. Well, that has nothing to do with the meditation, but when you meditate, when everything is calm, your every tiny little thing you notice very clearly. For instance, a little sound will be loud, very low voice can be very high or loud when mind is very calm, relaxed, environment is calm, and so forth. And this is temporary things. Also can the movement of mucus can cause little discomfort, or air movement. Blood sometimes go into that area more than before, not unusually, but that area you might have not been having very good blood flow when you are in meditation. Blood flow also goes very smoothly, and that can cause some kind of discomfort at the beginning. If you pay attention to it or ignore it, I think the best thing is to pay attention to it. When you pay attention to it, you will notice that particular pain will subside, disappear. I don't think there is anything to be alarmed, to worry about. These are very natural, normal things that can happen as you meditate. If you have been meditating only for 3 months, I think this sort of new things you certainly begin to notice more clearly. Okay? If you have any other persistent aches and pain in your ear and neck and so on, then of course you have to see specialists, a particular kind of doctors for the ear, for the neck and so forth. If it is very painful, unusually painful, and it is persistently painful, then you have to do something like that, seeing a physician. Okay, next question.
Our next question is, Dear Bhante, what is the difference between Chanda and Tanha? Can we say that Chanda includes the desires arising from generosity and loving kindness, like the desire to help others?
Yeah, Chanda and desire are almost synonymous, but at the same time, Chanda is used as one of the foundations of accomplishment. Success is called Chanda Iddipada. Tanha is not used in that respect, but Tanha is used for desire. It can be used even for wholesome desire like Dhamma Tanha, the craving or desire for Dhamma. But the Tanha, without that kind of description, if we use that is craving, open to all kind of craving, especially the cause of suffering is Tanha, cause of birth is Tanha. So Tanha has very negative meaning as well as positive meaning. Chanda also can have negative meaning and positive meaning. Negative meaning is promoting your greed, can be Tanha. For instance, Chanda can also be one of the 4 types of biases. One can become biased because of Chanda. Chanda, dosa, bhaya, moha. There are 4 types of prejudices, biases. One is Chanda, other is anger, Chanda is desire, other is dosa, anger, fear, bhaya, and moha, confusion. Because there is these 4, one can become biased. Therefore, in that particular place, Chanda is used in the negative sense. On the other hand, Chanda is used for positive sense. For instance, when we make effort, that is called Chandan Janeti Vayamati Viryanga Arabati Chittam Pagannati Padati. You can see this in Noble Eightfold Path when the right effort is described in detail. In that description you can find Chanda as a part of right effort. And among success, among 4 types of success, Chanda, Chitta, Virya, Vimansa. Chanda comes first, that is desire to practice mindfulness, practice concentration, practice meditation, to practice something wholesome. You need desire. That kind of desire is called wholesome desire. And therefore, both Chanda and Tanha are identical, synonymous, but both have positive meaning as well as negative meaning.
Okay, our next question is, Dear Bhante, when I meditate, when I am feeling peace, I feel sort of afraid of that feeling and withdraw from there. What should I do about it?
I think if you see, if you experience peace, don't be afraid of it. You like to be in chaos, like to be in trouble, quarreling, fighting. I don't think so. And therefore when peace arises, you must welcome it. Now, your fear, I can understand your fear of peace is that you don't know what this peace is, how it came. Not knowing the way how peace arose in your mind, you can have fear. But if you know how peace arises in your mind, then you will not have fear. Because of the ignorance of the cause, the way you develop peace, you can have fear. And therefore we suggest, try to have a real peace by through understanding. For instance, I mention every day in my meditation instructions, pay total, undivided, mindful attention to your breath. And when you pay mindful attention to the breath, you experience relaxed breath, relaxed body, relaxed mind, relaxed feeling, relaxed perception, everything is relaxed. That brings you peace. That peace you gain through understanding and doing something mindfully. If you are not mindful, if there is no understanding, if you don't do right effort, then if the fear all of a sudden thrust upon you, you can have fear. If peace just appeared from nowhere, then you might think this is the calm before storm. You might think storm is awaiting. Storm is awaiting my life. That is why this peace came, if it happened all of a sudden. But if you develop it gradually, systematically, in the way we suggest, you will see the peace has a wonderful quality. You can never expect anything better than peace. And therefore don't be afraid of real peace.
Okay, our next question is from Jesselyn, who raised her hand. Jesselyn, if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah?
So she's in the top left.
Yeah, what is your question?
Morning, Bhante. Bhante, thank you, Bhante, for your teaching. Bhante, I was listening to one of Bhante's previous recording and also applying what Bhante has taught us. When I have, let's say, if I have any unwholesome thoughts arising in my mind, I actually bring up the word pure, clean breath, pure, clean mind. These two words. And then just recently, I listened to Bhante's talk. There is talking meditation. Is that talking meditation that I'm applying when I bring up pure, clean breath, pure, clean mind to cut off any unwholesome thoughts
Okay.
that arises?
Okay. Now, yes, it is talking meditation, and that's what the Buddha, before he attained enlightenment, did in the Dvedha Vitaka Sutta. In Majjhima Nikaya, you will see the sutta, Dvedha Vitaka, two kinds of thoughts. Two kinds of thoughts. One is wholesome, one is unwholesome. When unwholesome thought arose in his mind, he talked to himself. This thought is unwholesome, dangerous, producing pain, suffering, grief, sorrow, and also regret. And these are the danger of this unwholesome thought. And therefore I don't want to develop this unwholesome thought, rather I want to develop wholesome thought, just the opposite of it. When anger arises, see the danger of anger. It will hurt your mind, hurt your body, hurt your life, hurt your health, and you lose your friends and so on. So many disadvantages and dangers are there in anger. When you practice the opposite of it, the metta, then you will have good sleep, 11 benefits. Good sleep, getting up well, not having dreams, nightmares, you have good friends, you will be loved by human beings, divine beings, even animals, and so forth. You can gain concentration better, and so forth. Think of the benefit of metta and cultivate that. That is the thinking meditation or talking meditation. And then you can, that is a very important practice. And the other is, if you can very quickly turn your mind towards your breath, whenever unwholesome thought arose in your mind, you just tell unwholesome thought, you body stay away for me for now, I will come back to you later, I will deal with you later. Don't bother me now, right now. Let me continue my meditation. You talk to yourself and return to the breath and see the pure, simple, clear breath. Pay attention to it and stay in the present moment. Then that unwholesome thought will not bother you. Okay, next question.
Okay, Bhante. Sadhu Bhante.
Thank you. You can read the question.
Yep. Our next question is, Dear Bhante, when we see suffering of large groups of people, for example, victims of natural disasters or genocide, what does that say, if anything, about the karma of those individuals?
Okay. Friend, this is a very important question. Sometimes people get very emotional, upset, even angry when I give one simple answer to this question. Because there can be many reasons, not only karma, but sometimes we call it law of nature, in some cases, something. Even when after tsunami, thousands of people died in Indonesia and Sri Lanka. And when I was invited to speak on the Larry King's show, I wanted to bring out 5 laws, but he did not permit me to speak. He gave only a couple of minutes and he switched because I was the only different person in that whole crowd. Anyway, one is Kamma Niyama, Dhamma Niyama, Chitta Niyama, Utu Niyama, and these are the laws. Kamma Niyama, Bija Niyama, Chitta Niyama, Utu Niyama, Dhamma Niyama. There are 5 niyama, 5 laws. Kamma Niyama, Kamma is one of them. Utu means, the seasonal changes. Dhamma is the nature. Bija is the biological or botanical reasons. And only one of them is karma. Even in Girimananda Sutta, Buddha has given 40-some list of 40-some diseases. I mean, there are more than that. But there he mentioned only one of them is karma. So, if we don't try to attribute everything to karma, then we fall into the fatalism. Karma, in some cases, karma plays a major role, and many other reasons also can play roles, and therefore, whether it is war or famine or this COVID-19 and tsunami, earthquake, things like that. Some of them are natural resources, natural causes, natural laws. When people living in areas where there are earthquakes, there are volcanoes in some countries, I don't think they all are victims of karma in all these cases. Some may be, some may not be. But everyone must think and remember, sooner or later we will have to pay for our good karma as well as bad karma. This is what we all inherit. And therefore, in that way, karma one day, sooner or later, will affect us in one way or the other. The next question.
All right, our next question comes from Jason.
Good evening, Bhante. Good morning. Sorry, just got two questions to follow up on the sixth precept. I have met some people, Dharma friends. They have been giving the Bhante for Sri Lanka evening meals, and he has been taking evening meals. My first question: what are the consequences if a monastic monk break the sixth precept? And second, what will be the karma for the lay people who encourage this monk to break the sixth precept? I've been trying to tell all my Dharma friends not to do that, but constantly they're doing that. And the monk himself is also not very good because he break the sixth precept in front of the lay people. What are his consequences in terms of karma, Bhante?
Okay, if he's a monastic, he has consequence that is called what you call pachitya. Pachitya means confessionable offense. He can confess it to another monk if he does eat in the evening. Confessionable. But by eating at night, he will not go to hell. He will not be reborn as an animal. But he may be born according to his karmas, other karmas, wherever he will be born. But for lay people, if they observe the precept, they too can confess to others as that because of sometimes people have to take something with their medicine. If they take certain medicines, without any food, the medicine can cause another sickness. In order to avoid that, doctors recommend, or even the medicine is recommended for somebody to take it with some food. And therefore, if somebody takes food for medical reasons, it is not considered to be an offense or breaking precepts. Otherwise, if the person is healthy, just for the sake of his greed or has a habit, keeps eating, even the person has undertaken the precept to observe, if the person is simply greedy and eat, then it is an offense. Okay, I think that's all time I have today. I think there may be more questions, but I don't think I have time for that.
Okay, that's fine. So we will ask everyone to unmute if you want and say goodbye, and we'll finish for today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Everyone have a nice
Saranai.
Let me finish.
Thank you, Bhante G.
Thank you, Bhante.
Did you have?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Let me
Bhante.
let me finish by
Bhante.
after our session. All these wonderful people join me in sharing our loving friendliness with everybody. And we know, especially these days, many people who are in hospitals suffering from COVID-19, and we want to wish them be recovered as quickly as possible and return to normal health. And there are doctors, nurses, hospital staffs who sacrifice their life, take risks to taking risks. They take care of these patients. I know even some doctors and nurses were infected by this disease by exposing themselves to the disease that the patients had, and therefore some of them were very seriously. Some of them were very serious. I think sometimes some even died. And still they take risk. And sometimes doctors and nurses become very emotional when they see their own patients dying. It is a very unfortunate situation. So we want to wish them peace, happiness, and send our metta in full dose for their own well-being, happiness, safety, and security, and stay healthy to continue their wonderful service, doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs. And there are people who are suffering from losing their loved ones. As I mentioned yesterday, separation from loved ones is suffering. Surely they have suffering when they lost their loved ones, and however they can recover by understanding Dhamma, practicing meditation, seeing the reality in life, because everyone that is born will die. And then there are many people, leaders, who have taken great leadership and help people to get vaccination, and many people, millions of people are already vaccinated because of their leadership, and therefore may they continue their compassionate, insightful, wise decisions, service for the benefit of human beings. We want to wish and send metta to people who invented this vaccine in several countries to help these people. May they continue their compassionate, insightful service for the benefit of others and live long in very good health to continue this service. And there are people who have financially, generously supported these people and others, hospitals, and providing the facilities, instruments, medicine, and so forth. And may they also continue to be their continue their service in good health, peace, and happiness. Overall, may all of them in all countries, whether they are in poverty-stricken, in war zones, in various places, may they all have wonderful peace, good health, and without any harm, any problems, may they live long in very, very good health. Thank you, friends, for joining us. Okay.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank
Sadhu,
you,
sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you.
Close the
Bhante. Sadhu
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu,
Thank you, Bhante.
sadhu,
Thank you, Bhante.
sadhu, sadhu.
This one?
Go up and that one. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.